Hello, I'm Emily Rutherford-Liska, and we're back with the Jacksonville History Show. And on this segment, we'll be talking with Eric Bergenet. And Eric is here with SPAR, Springfield Springfield Preservation and Revitalization. And it's a group that's been around a long time, so I ought to get it right. It's just that everybody knows what you mean when you say SPAR. And when you say SPAR, you know this is a group that not only intensely defends Springfield and takes care of Springfield, you know it's the group that twice a year sponsors a fabulous home tour. And we're here with Eric because we're going to talk about the Spring Springfield home tour. And actually, it's almost summer, June 1st and 2nd.
Correct.
So it should be delightful weather. It would be a Saturday and Sunday, correct?
Correct.
And tell me a little bit about the tour and what people can expect to see this year if they come.
Well, good. So this year is the 35th annual. So it started back in 1978, and this year we've got, just like we always do, some fabulous homes. So we have 5 great homes, all built in the early 1900s. We have 3 gardens, which makes it the home and garden tour, as always. We have a beautiful restored commercial building, which was actually an old home, which Lisa just talked about and you did on your last segment. And then we finally have a great church as well that has agreed to open their doors for us.
Now, something else you've got to add to the ambiance and old flavor. And we referenced it, but we didn't say they'd see this on the Springfield home tour, the old cars. Talk a little bit about that aspect of the cars.
Yeah, so as everyone knows, Main Street has revitalized their Main Street cruise, which happened for many, many years, and a lot of people, I think, met their husbands and wives on this cruise a long time ago, and John Wells brought that back. So what we did this year is to kind of bring that back into the fold. John has agreed to put some cars in front of each of the houses that we have on the tour. So not only will you get a great walking tour, see the homes, the gardens, and the church, but you also get to see some of the classic cars that were around back when these homes were.
And you have some great recommendations when people start the tour. They can actually start at an area. Is this about 3rd and Main Street or 4th and Main? Give me the rundown of that, because it's a great place to get ice cream or a sandwich and then take off on your tour.
So between 3rd and 4th on Main Street, we're going to start the tour at a place called City Kids Event Center. Pastor Bush has opened City Kids Ice Cream Parlor for a number of years, and people think of ice cream parlor, but it's much more than that. He has great sandwiches. So we'd love for you to come there and grab a bite to eat first. Also, there's Uptown Market right there at the corner of 3rd and Main. So if you grab a bite to eat there, top it off with a little bit of ice cream, walk right next door, and you'll get your tour book and get started on the spring tour.
In taking the tour, let's talk about that. Do you suggest most people walk it, drive it? How would you suggest? What are the methods?
This year, the tour is going to happen all on the west side of Main Street. We typically like to keep it on one side or the other, ideally so it is a walking tour. So Springfield is all about a walking neighborhood in, urban living. So most people walk the tour. It's about 1.5 miles to 2 miles if you take all the tour into and go up and down in some of the houses. Some people also bring out their bicycles. And then some people still, depending on the weather and if it's too hot or just get tired throughout the day, will bring their car and maybe walk to a few houses, come back to their car and drive to another place and finish the tour up.
Bicycle sounds like great fun. Now, actually, let's take a look, because we have some images, not necessarily the houses you'll see, but the ambiance of Springfield, what people, some of the buildings people might see. Now, this is way west in Springfield.
That's right.
And it's the beautiful boulevard. And do you know if there are any of the houses that far over this year?
We don't have any directly on the park. On Boulevard there, it also borders the park and takes the park all the way on your left. And so some beautiful old homes that are on the tour there. Or not on this tour, but have been on the tours in the past.
They certainly have been, and that's just a great place to bike over or walk over to, and a great boulevard of homes along there. So that's one of the sights you'll see. And I know this one's near and dear to you. Go ahead and talk about this building.
So this is Fire Station number 2, and if anyone's from the area, everyone refers to this as the Deuce. So the fire station has been around, as you can tell, the 2nd longest in Jacksonville. They just celebrated their 100-year anniversary a few years back, and many of the firemen, their grandfathers, their fathers, and themselves have all served at this local fire station.
Now, it's not on the tour of this building, but everybody's going to see it if they go to the tour, and it's just on the east side, right on Main Street. And what's the intersection there?
It is at 4th and Main.
4th and Main. there you go. And one of our really iconic fire stations, buildings here in the city of Jacksonville, and beautiful historic photos of that are available, any number. So that's another great image. Oh, you want to talk about that, or you want me to talk about it?
So this is another beautiful image here of Confederate Park. A lot of great history has gone on here at the park, and so this is another one, not necessarily on the tour, but you will drive by this as you come and start the tour.
And the park doesn't look identical to that now, but the vestiges and similarities are clearly there. The monument to the women of the Confederacy, beautiful monument. That was constructed in 1915 and dedicated a year after Confederate veterans actually camped out in that park at a major Confederates convention. So very exciting, and people should take a stroll through that park if they go on the tour of homes. We have a couple of more images here. Oh, go ahead and talk about that one.
Yeah, so this is the Clutho apartment building. It's one of the most iconic in all of Springfield. As everyone knows, the great architect Henry Clutho. And now this is home to Operation New Hope, which is doing a lot of great things in Jacksonville.
And as people drive down or stroll down Main Street, they'll clearly see that gorgeous building designed by Henry Clutho, once, of course, apartment building. And I think we have a couple more images. Well, that's known as the First Baptist Church. It is altered so dramatically not to be recognized anymore.
But you will still see the church there at 8th and Main, and still a very active church and active in the community.
And actually, I'd suggest that it's been demolished and completely replaced, only because I was in weddings in that building, and I don't see any vestiges. I don't mind being proven wrong, but nonetheless, that's the corner of 8th and Main Street, as I recall. That's, and when I say I was in weddings, they weren't mine. I was participating in weddings. And I think we maybe have one more image. You know what that is, I know.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not with us anymore.
No, it's not. And the old Capitol Theater, and used to attend movies there, as did hundreds, if not thousands, of Jacksonville's children and citizens. And that was between 7th and 8th Street along Main. And you still have a nice little business district there.
There's still a great business district, and to me, this is an example of why preservation is so important.
It is
in
indeed.
Jacksonville.
Yes, yes. It's a shame to have lost that. And one more shot of course, Confederate Park. And what I don't think you see in that image that I know Christine Farley of Springfield loves to talk about is that gorgeous rose arbor that so many of you in Springfield work diligently to bring back. That's worth the trip to Springfield alone. Go see the rose arbor.
Right there in Confederate Park.
But now you can go and you can take a tour. And let's talk about the price, how to get tickets.
We'd love to. So if you get tickets, the easiest way is to go online. It's at www.sparcouncil, so S-P-A-R, council.org. Tickets are $15 day of the tour, but if you get them online, it's $12.50. And we also sell them at a number of local establishments. So if you're in Springfield, we'd love you to stop at the Day Spa there, right there on Main Street. Also at 3 Layers Cafe at 6th and Walnut. There are a couple places in Riverside we'd love you to stop into, which is Fans and Stoves, and also at Tres Leches. And if you're out doing some antique shopping on Phillips Highway, Avonlea also has tickets available.
Oh, all right. Well, these are all fabulous places to stop by. You get your tickets to boot. And so you get your tickets. You can go Saturday or Sunday. What are the hours?
Yeah, both on Saturday and Sunday. It's 1 to 5. And the name I was thinking of earlier was Avila Day Spa, so that's right there at Main Street as well. So yeah, 1 to 5 on both days, so we'd love you to come out. A couple of places I didn't mention, you know, Sweet Pete's is right there in the neighborhood. We'd love you to come over there before you do it. When you're done, 3 Layers Cafe there. You can also grab some coffee, other things there. So
there are no paucity of things to do in Springfield, and to just drink in, literally, figuratively, the history is such a delight. Anything you want to add about the tour? I will add this. You live in Springfield today. I found this out about you and your wife. You live there today because you went on the Springfield home tour in 2002 when you first moved to Jacksonville for Denver, and now you're a dedicated preservationist and Springfield resident.
that is so true. My wife, after about a year being there, decided that she went on a tour and came home one day and said, we found our next home. So we've been there 10 years ever since and love it. We have 4 young children, raising them there right in Springfield. So we'd love you to join us.
Thank you. Jacksonville feels so fortunate to count you among our preservation enthusiasts and residents of Springfield who really care passionately about that neighborhood and about our city. I want to thank you, Eric, for being here. What a delight to have you, and what a happy story to know that you found your home by going on the Springfield Home Tour. And once again, we invite everyone to go June 1st, June 2nd, get those tickets, go on sparcouncil.org to find out more about this tour. And thank you for bringing this tour to us for how many years?
35 years.
35 years of the Springfield Home Tour. I want to thank everybody for watching today. Thank you again for being with us, Eric. And I want to remind you that the Jacksonville Historical Society can be reached at www.jackshistory.com. We invite you to join us at any of our meetings and programs. And until next time, we're history.